Hello and welcome to my tutorial about distance hotkeys. Now, the distance level editor can be a complex and finicky beast, as most really good game engines are, because you've got to use a bunch of buttons and stuff, and it can be difficult to even understand like how to change your perspective. Say you didn't know that you could hold right mouse button to swap around. It'd be super difficult to work on anything. So I am just going to go over some of the basic hotkeys in sections. Now the first is locomotion. So when it comes to locomotion, what that really means is just getting around the level editors. I am just going to go ahead and open up a level file here. Let's see, Longburger. Really fun set that Pines of Chaos put together that I have because he gave it to me. I like it. Anyway, first you want to make sure that you're using Control Scheme B, because that's the only thing I use, and I have no idea how that even works. If you're using Control Scheme A, legit, like you're on your own. I can't help you. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, to move the 3D cursor, which is this thing right here that my mouse is circling, you just hover over something and then right click, and then whatever object you're over, that's where the 3D cursor goes. If you want to look at that 3D cursor, you just hit C, and then you can use the mouse scroll wheel to get closer and farther away. If you want to pan, you can hold the middle mouse button down and move from place to place, just like this. That's pretty much it as far as locomotion goes. That's really all you need to know. There's a few other keys, like for example, if you use the arrow key front, back, side to side, you will move. And if you hold right mouse button, then you tilt kind of the display. You can also hold Control right mouse button to look around as if it was a camera, and Shift and right mouse button to kind of like do an accelerated scroll in and out. So now that we've covered camera locomotion, we can go into object manipulation. So when you are switching around and moving assets and objects in the level editor, it can be a real pain to, for example, set up a stream of lights here. We've got a spooky lantern sort of deal, right? Say you want to scale that. Control, Shift, and R is a hotkey that you can use to just, you press it and then the scaling happens. Control Shift and E, that's rotation. Control Shift and W, that's free movement. And if you hit right click, you'll just cancel. And those three hotkeys can also be changed by, say for example, you wanted to move it just down along the road. Control Shift W and then hit the Z axis, or just the Z button, and it will just go right along the Z axis. Here. Works the same for the x-axis and the y-axis. And you can do the same for scaling, rotation, etc. So that's pretty much all you need to know as far as object manipulation goes. Of course, you can always use W, E, and R. Just press the buttons and you'll switch gizmos, and you can, obviously drag and click and drag, but it's just much faster to use the hotkeys. So let's go ahead and talk about object placement. Say for example that this wasn't something that wasn't in the rotation you want it to be. Say you want it to be sideways on the door. So what you can do is click where you want it to be, Shift S to move the object you've selected right to the cursor, and then Alt S to copy its orientation, which is super useful because then you don't have to spend time kind of like manipulating it so that it looks like it's standing off the track. And if it's at a weird angle, then you can just right click to place your 3D cursor, Shift S and Alt S to copy the location and the orientation, which will speed you up so much. That's pretty much it as far as hotkeys go. That's the basics of what you need to know, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative. If you have any questions, just go ahead and leave them in the comments.